What is up, y'all? Within today's video, we're going to be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race. If you guys did not know, I have literally been saying this for probably years now on this channel. I would love to do Drag Race commentary, but y'all can go ahead and call me whatever you want to call me. Because yes, it's probably true. I'm just too scared to talk about Drag Race stuff because I feel like every other channel that I watch that talk about Drag Race commentary or just give their thoughts and opinions about Drag Race, damn, do them comments go so hard? Like, you're not allowed to have an opinion about somebody's favorite queen, which is so insane to me because if you guys watch RuPaul's Drag Race, first of all, they have a panel of judges on there, and you as a viewer watching it knows that it's a competition show, so obviously you're going to be forming an opinion about it. I don't care if you want to sit there and lie to yourself and say, no, I really don't have an opinion. That's just a lie. I feel like when it comes down to the lip syncing, obviously, if you're looking at the queen's lip syncing, you're going to be like, no, I feel like this one performed better. That's an opinion. And then say, for example, if they're doing like a sewing challenge to where they have to create their own garment, obviously you're going to be looking at it, critiquing it as a viewer and being like, you know what, I feel like Roxy Andrews did better than Gottmik in this, specific challenge. And I feel like that's just natural, especially when it comes down to a TV show, let alone a competition show. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like so many times, y'all, oh my gosh, I see on Twitter and Reddit, specifically Reddit, I'm like, damn, these Drag Race fans are just a little bit too much. Like, they be making all types of like threats and stuff to people, and I'm like, oh my god, it's just a person having an opinion about a drag queen. That's just natural. Obviously, if the person, say for example, if I were to get on here and just bash people, of course, then I would expect that back in return. But say for example, if I just got on here and I said, oh, you know what, I feel like so and so just really didn't do good in this challenge, I don't think that somebody should be attacked for that. Do you know what I mean? You're literally just stating your opinion, and I just don't get it. Like, I have seen before, you guys know, I've talked about him before on my channel, Bussy Queen, if you guys have seen him before. What a name. The way that he got away with that damn name on YouTube, I'm like, But the way he says it, like when he does his intro and stuff, he'll be like Bussy instead of like Bussy, but it's Bussy, you know what I mean? He gets like attacked on Reddit forums as well as Twitter, and I'm like, maybe I'm just crazy. Okay, maybe I'm just crazy. I feel like he's pretty nice. I feel like his commentary is really just kind of like objective, and I don't feel like he says anything really too mean. He's just giving his opinion, and that's it. I'm like, and the way people attack him on Reddit, I've seen specifically on Reddit, and then I have seen a forum on Twitter as well too. I'm like, it's really not that deep. He's just giving his opinion. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna be real with you guys. That's what made me like shy away from doing Drag Race commentary, but it literally is my favorite reality TV show. I feel like it is just the best of the best because, y'all, what other show do you watch there? You have like makeup challenges, you have hair challenges, you have clothing challenges, you have acting challenges, you have comedy challenges. Like, it has everything wrapped up in one, and every single person that I have shown the show to, they're like, oh my gosh, this show is absolutely amazing. They fall in love with it. It's such a good show. So I'm like, I really would love to do commentary about it, but then I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit scared. But since I'm doing daily uploads now, maybe I'll get out of that box and start doing Drag Race commentary here on my channel. I specifically within today's video want to talk about Gottmik because, y'all, he is getting roasted online because apparently it seems like he may have copied some jokes from another comedian, and y'all, I just feel like, damn, this one is like really blowing up on TikTok as well as Twitter. And then specifically on his Twitter, I'm gonna be reading some comments that were said back to him, but I was just like, whoa, like, I didn't know it was that big of a deal. It's kind of like, oh yeah, he definitely did, copy some jokes, kind of tweak them a little bit, but I'm like, it's kind of a little bit of a copy. Before we get into that though, can I just give my opinion so far about the show? If you guys don't want to hear it, just fast forward a couple minutes. I want to say I made a TikTok about this. As soon as the casting was announced, I was so excited. I was like, this is probably my favorite cast. I feel like it is such a good, entertaining cast, and I feel like all the queens are so talented, and I was so excited for it. But for some reason, I'm just not really getting that into it. And I don't know if maybe because none of the queens are being sent home this time, maybe that has a lot to do with it, because I feel like the competition isn't really that strong. If you guys have been following along so far, say for example, Roxy Andrews last week had to give the chop to somebody, and she was trying so hard to like be Miss Congeniality, and it's like, girl, you're just giving someone a block from getting a pin. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's not that big of a deal. They're not going home. And at the end of the day, you're not going to start any beef with them because obviously all the cast members know that somebody has to get blocked. So it's really not that serious. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this season they're playing for charity. And every single week, the winner of the challenge has to like take the scissors and give somebody the chop, basically, so that way they don't get a badge. Because at the end of the season, the person with the most badges wins the show and wins the money for their charity. And I want to say I think it's great that they're doing it for charity, but I really do feel like being that they don't have that like $200,000 cash prize, it's not like cutthroat. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the queens ain't going hard. I feel like they're not really, you know, I wouldn't say they're not giving it their all, because let me tell you, they're like really doing great jobs, but I feel like it would have been a little bit more if people were being sent home and there was that cash prize. I have read rumors on Reddit that they're actually just getting paid a set salary, that they're not having any type of like bonuses, and that they get to, say for example, every time they get a little extra cash, it's for their charity specifically. And I think that's really great. I just feel like it kind of takes away from the, you know, show. Because, y'all, if you guys watch the regular season, it's kind of like people are just like, ooh, fighting, you know, tooth and nail, or whatever the saying is. Because obviously they want that cash prize. And I feel like now it's kind of like, okay, they're going to get money for their charity. And obviously, yes, you could win more money for your charity. But at the end of the day, they're still getting their set salary, whatever that is. I don't know. I feel like, honestly, it depends upon queens. Because I feel like, for example, Plastique Tiara, first of all, I feel like she's like one of the most famous queens. I feel like she's the most followed queen on social media. So I'm like, is she really going to be taking like, I don't know, $50,000 to go on this show for X amount of weeks? Do you know what I mean? Obviously taking away from her bookings. I kind of doubt that. So I'm like, I really do wonder what the pay is. But anyways, nonetheless, in my personal opinion, I do feel like so far, I don't know, the show just, and it kind of sucks because I love the cast. I don't know. I feel like the format is just throwing me off a little bit, and I really do feel like, I don't know, the competition's not there. And I feel like the queens are trying to ham it up to make like good TV. Like, I love Roxy Andrews, and I feel like when she won, and she's over here like, oh my gosh, crying about giving somebody the chop, it's like, girl, you know the nature of the game. We're like, how many episodes in now? Like, you already know. Anyways, I just wanted to give my thoughts and opinions about that. Let's go ahead and get into the Gottmik drama, y'all. I'm gonna go, you know what, go ahead and check out this clip right here, because they are calling her out for jacking like certain, what is her name, Nikki Glaser, I think her name is, certain jokes from her roast and putting it in her roast. So yeah, go ahead and check it out.
I do not want to badmouth you, since God already did. No.
I am not going to stand up here and badmouth you, because clearly God already has.
I want to thank you so much for fighting the war against terrorism and subtlety.
You are consistently fighting the war on homophobia and subtlety, clearly.
Is insane. Like, if you look at it, it's just like model, actor, singer, you name it, she's it.
Influencer, dancer, actor, you name it, she's fucked it.
Will and Grace was really the best you could do. It just...
And girl, for real, your run in Hairspray was truly the best you could do.
Okay, as y'all saw from right there, yes, obviously the jokes were, you know, you could tell that they were obviously copied. Well, Gottmik responded to this because this was going viral on Twitter as well as TikTok. I want to say it had even more views on TikTok than on Twitter. And I'm gonna be real with you guys, like, I feel like obviously when you're not a comedian, it's kind of hard to come up with things, but I do also see at the same time too, it's kind of like, girl, this was your competition to obviously write your own jokes, and I'm sure that they work with producers behind the scenes to come up with content, because I have heard before when they have to do like singing challenges and things like that, that they work with a lyricist, somebody who actually helps them, you know, come up with the lyrics for their songs. So I'm kind of like, why wouldn't they have probably like a comedian on set? Or as you guys know, when they meet up with the judges, why wouldn't they come up with jokes then? Do you know what I mean? It kind of seems like obviously this was, you know, a little bit plagiarized. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Do you know what I mean? Only because it's like at the end of the day, she's doing it on the show. It's not like she's like charging people for a set. Do you know what I mean? Say, for example, if you went to a Gottmik comedy show and then it was all just like plagiarized jokes, then obviously I would understand the frustration. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm literally seeing repeated Nikki Glaser jokes. I hope that's how you pronounce her last name. I've seen her on roast so many times. I think she is so hilarious. She is so good. Anyways, I want to go ahead and read what Gottmik had to say about this. She said, wait, do you guys think everyone wrote their jokes? LOL, Nikki is my queen, so reworking a few of her jokes was a duh for me. Love her. Y'all, and then also right here, somebody commented back, and I have to be honest with you guys, most of the comments were against Gottmik. And I was just kind of like, oh, damn, she's getting roasted in her post. You know what I mean? But this one, I guess, was, you know, on her side. It says, clock them. Also, were you feeling all right during the Untucked? You seemed really sad. Hope you feel better now. She responded to that, definitely was going through it, and hit a breaking point and couldn't stop crying. We'll definitely have to get into it a bit on No Gorge, which is her podcast. I do want to go ahead and read some of the comments for you guys, y'all. And let me tell you, they go on and on and on. But this is one right here. Rework is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. You copied the jokes word for word. Changing the names and changing terrorism to homophobia is not rework. You also copied the Glee joke word for word from Lisa Lampanelli. Just lazy and disrespectful. No one is asking you to write all your jokes, but you literally present the original full set worst delivery without even a single edit to it. But I guess you don't feel a bit embarrassed, Gorge, so what can we say? Rework is not the same as stealing. Those were her jokes word by word. Plagiarism is not okay just because it's common, lol. Love you, Mick, but there's a difference between queens getting help writing jokes and just stealing one person's jokes, like the whole set. Y'all, I'm telling you, they literally just go on and on. Oh, this is another one right here that has 548 likes. What parts did you rework? They were all basically word for word with a meaningless word being replaced with a synonym. No joke is original anymore these days, that's fine, but ripping off multiple jokes from the same person is wild and lazy. I obviously get it. I feel like at the end of the day, maybe you take a little bit of inspiration. Do you know what I mean? Reword a joke. I totally get that, but I do feel like when it's so obvious that you copied multiple jokes, then that's kind of where it's like, oh, that's a little bit messy there. You know what I mean? But I do want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions about it, so please let me know down below. Before I end this video, I want to okay, I'm not trying to stir the pot here or anything, because I don't know, I just feel like this whole new generation, and obviously the queens have ridiculed the judges before, because say for example, Michelle Visage has been very hard on some of the queens, but I really do feel, in my personal opinion, as a person who gives tough love to people I care about, I feel like every single time that she has critiqued somebody, yes, some of the things that she has said has been extremely harsh, but I really do feel like it's coming from a place of care. If she really didn't care, she would be like, oh, you need to work on that a little better. Do you know what I mean? But it's kind of like, sometimes when you read somebody, it's kind of like, I know you can do better than this. What are you doing? Do you know what I mean? In this specific season, do you guys feel that the judges are just becoming way too Miss Congeniality type? Everything that they have to say is so extremely positive, even when there's not the most positive of things to say. Say for example, if you guys watched the dress that Georges made, I was like, girl, I can do that, and I don't know how to do anything. So I'm kind of and they weren't critiquing her too much. I really do feel like they're scared this day and age with social media and all the queens before. Say for example, I want to say it was was it Tammy Brown, I think, who went off on RuPaul and has several times. So many people, so many queens, literally, you guys can Google it, have called out the judges for their critiques. And I'm like, at the end of the day, they're on this show to get judged. And obviously the judges are there to do a job. Yes, I totally get it. Obviously there is a fine line between bullying and critiquing. I get that. But I'm like, this season specifically, and don't get me wrong, the queens are absolutely great. They are seasoned queens. Y'all, I can't believe Chanel's on there. Chanel is such a bomb queen. I feel like she has really put in some work. I feel like she's it's hard to critique someone like Chanel, but there is still obviously things that she could do better. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like the judges are so damn scared, obviously, because of cancel culture. They're like, oh, let me not say this, let me not say that. Do you guys, if you guys have been watching the show, do you guys agree with me or do you guys disagree? Because if you guys have watched previous seasons, y'all know the judges will go ham on people. And sometimes, like I said, yes, it could be a little bit much, but also at the same time too, I'm like, well, obviously they're judging them, and the queens obviously need to hear this type of thing so that way they can learn to be a little bit better. But that's just my opinion on the situation. Make sure you guys let me know what you guys are thinking about the season so far. I'm curious to know. Let me know if you guys want more Drag Race commentary, because I would love to do it. Low-key, what I would love to do, since I'm doing daily uploads, is kind of do a recap of the show and my thoughts and opinions about the most recent showing. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that would be really fun, especially because I'm doing daily uploads, like I said. Anyways, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.